I believe in myself, and you know, Dr. Andrews actually said, you know, you're gonna shock the world.
Man, it's amazing, man.
You know, once I get on the team, I'll prove myself, prove that I'm a complete back. I'll be full health, so it'll be good to go. And I'm just gonna stay motivated. You know, and everything I go through, you know, it just motivates me to get better. You know, I just think about guys who are less fortunate than me, guys who would kill to be in my shoes right now, even with the injury. And, you know, that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me motivated, knowing that people would kill to be in my shoes right now. And, I mean, this has easily been the best 3 years of my life.
Well, we are less than 24 hours away now from what has become one of the biggest spectacles on the football calendar, the NFL Draft, an event that can make or break dreams in the blink of an eye. And right here in South Carolina, that young man you just saw, Marcus Lattimore, has captured the attention of an entire nation as he chases his NFL dream. Despite a devastating injury back in October, he is demanding that people take notice right now as he works his way back from this. Very likely number 21 will not hear his name called on the first day of the draft Thursday, but someone is bound to dial his number on his road to recovery. Just days before the NFL Draft, Marcus Lattimore doing something he seems to do very well: hold people's attention. Lattimore signing autographs in Columbia for an adoring fan base.
I'd love him to be a perpetual Gamecock and play on the field for us forever, but that's not the way it works. I hope he has an incredible football career in the NFL.
He's just an inspirational player. He's a really great guy, and I wanted my niece to be able to see him today.
I'm a huge fan of Marcus's. I'm really hopeful that he's going to do well. I'm very, very proud of how he's come back from his last injuries.
There you go, okay. A month earlier, Lattimore was holding the attention of NFL scouts and wowing coaches and former teammates at USC's Pro Day with an impressive display of toughness, blasting through a series of drills that proved his surgically repaired knee had recovered as well as he said it had.
Lattimore wrapped up by Lathers, and Lattimore is hurt.
Oh, no.
An effort made necessary by a second straight season-ending knee injury, and one that many thought would derail Lattimore's NFL dreams.
Oh, no. You feel for players.
You have to stay positive, or you know, you're not going to come back from it. And you just have to keep working hard and keep going.
But a single pro day won't earn Lattimore a roster spot, but his resolve just might. NFL personnel experts said to be impressed with his maturity, his will to win, and his raw ability, qualities that coaches and teammates have been admiring for quite some time.
Yeah, Marcus is the kind of guy, even if he doesn't play, you want him on your team because he's such a wonderful influence on everybody else. His work habits.
I mean, there's nothing short of amazing. I mean, you see somebody with that type of determination and dedication to want to actually get back and continue to chase their dream after everything that has happened to him. It's amazing.
Marcus has rushed 550.
So it's no surprise a birthday rally for number 21 just 2 days after his second knee injury drew more than 1,000 fans, sending well wishes and personal messages the way of one of Gamecock Nation's all-time favorites.
Marcus Lattimore has given the university so much hope, made us be able to dream so much better.
I got goosebumps. It makes me feel good that we want him to know how much we do care for him. And I think this will send the message.
It's not just that he's a great football player, it's that he's a great person. Everyone that meets him knows that he's a great person.
Okay, we appreciate everybody coming out today.
While it may have come as a blow to some when Lattimore declared for the NFL Draft in late December, there seemed to be an understanding that now is his time after his star-crossed stay in Columbia.
And I got to play for a SEC legend, and I mean, this has easily been the best 3 years of my life.
Once thought to be a lock for the first or second round, Marcus Lattimore's draft stock has understandably taken a hit, but not much of one. His rapid recovery and commitment to get back on the field has improved his draft chances exponentially, but there are still no guarantees here. He's been called the biggest wild card of the 2013 NFL Draft. Still, though, Marcus Lattimore is determined to pen a comeback story for the ages.
I mean, I know my situation. I know it's going to take some time. And they know my situation, so it's all good. At this point, it really doesn't matter where I get drafted. you know, because I'm going to go in there and work hard. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to do what I've been doing my whole career, and that's just being myself.
Well, Marcus Lattimore certainly not the first highly touted college player to make a run at the pros after a devastating injury. One of them is a man that Lattimore has looked to for some guidance during this. Former Miami Hurricane Willis McGahee suffering a very similar injury in the national championship game, tearing 3 knee ligaments in the Fiesta Bowl more than a decade ago. He was expected to be the first running back chosen in the draft, still ended up a first-round pick, 23rd overall by the Buffalo Bills, after what people termed a miraculous recovery from a potential career-threatening injury. Now, miraculous has been a word used to describe Marcus Lattimore. So where does he end up after this? It's a key question heading into draft day. When we come back, a closer look at his NFL chances. Derek Phillips talks with our panel of experts, including a former first-round draft pick who knows exactly how this process works. This is the Watch Fox Draft Preview, brought to you by United Auto Sales. Welcome back to the Watch Fox Draft Special, brought to you by United Auto Sales. Right now, the biggest question mark of this draft centers on former Gamecock Marcus Lattimore, many calling him the wild card of the 2013 draft. So where does he end up? Well, it's really anyone's guess. Our Derek Phillips joins us now with our panel of experts who have a whole lot of guesses for us.
Thank you, Brian. We're back now to talk some Lattimore discussion with some guys here that know what it's like to be behind the mic, if you will. Eric Guimaraes and Rick Sanford joining us from 560 The Team. Eric, you've been with 560 The Team now for a few years, and Rick, you were actually, you know what all it's about to be taken in the NFL draft. 7 seasons in the league, and you were with the Patriots for 6 seasons, and the first USC Gamecock to be drafted in the first round, correct?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Well, thank you guys for being here with us. Well, first we'll just start off with, put your GM caps on here for us for a second. Lots of risk and reward with Marcus Lattimore, considering his 2 knee injuries, one on the right and the left. But obviously we've seen what he can do on the football field. Now, do you take that chance and go with him as a GM?
Well, no question you take a chance. I think the bigger question here is who takes a chance and your needs at running back. When you're drafting early in the rounds, you want a guy who's going to be an impact player immediately, and because of his injuries, he might not be an impact player until either later this season or the following season. So you'll see some teams that already are pretty solid at running back, maybe getting a little older there, aging there, like our good friend Rick, and they'll take a chance on him, but it might not be a first day guy. He may be a 4th, 5th rounder, but absolutely you take a chance on a guy like Marcus Lattimore. He brings too much to the locker room and too much to the field.
I think the teams you have to look at that would take a chance on Marcus is someone like San Francisco, who has 13 picks in this draft, or a team like Atlanta, a team like Miami possibly, or maybe New England, actually, because what he brings to the table as a person, I think you have to look at that. And I think now with a lot of the things that go on with some of the players in the league, you look for quality character guys. And so I think what will happen is probably around somewhere 2nd day, like Eric said, probably 4th, 5th round, there'll be a good football team, somebody that is pretty established, that will probably take a chance on him, that has the extra picks that they can afford to take a chance.
Well, Rick, you've been in this situation before, quite a while back, you said, but what's it like? Lattimore said at his pro day, he said afterwards that he would be at home with his family, but he's not going to watch the draft. But what's it like sitting there by the phone waiting for that team to give you that call and say, come join us?
Well, I had been informed by professional scouts that I was probably going to be a first-round draft pick. And, you take it with a grain of salt, really, because you really don't know. I mean, there's so many great players across the country that really all it takes is one team to really like you. And I can remember when the day that I was drafted, I actually got a call from the New Orleans Saints right before, 2 minutes before the Patriots called me, and they said, well, we're going to take you with our early pick of the 2nd round, but about the time the guy was on the phone, he says, but I think if you hang up your phone, you're going to get a call very shortly. So what had happened, New England had already just selected me. So yeah, it was a very trying day. I know back then you could go 15 minutes in between picks. So with the draft that morning started at 9 o'clock, and I got called with the 25th player of the first round at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was a long, long day.
Real quick, where do you see him and what round?
I think San Francisco's my best bet. They could. I wouldn't even be surprised because of what Rick said, that they have 13 picks in this draft. Frank Gore's aging. They've seen him battle through a knee injury. San Francisco is my first pick for them, 3rd to 5th round. And outside of that, other than the other teams you mentioned, maybe Arizona.
I think, quite honestly, I think it's probably San Francisco would be the logical pick. But with the NFL, what you learn is that logical never works. Okay, so I would think a team probably, if I'm a 4th round, 5th round, I've got an extra pick here or there, or either I've acquired an extra pick here or there from someone. I really think Marcus is either going to end up somewhere, possibly Dallas, possibly, or another outside pick, Miami, or, as I said, Atlanta. That would be my top 3 picks, I think.
All right, so obviously plenty of discussions and teams where Lattimore might end up. We know what he can do on the football field, leaving USC as the all-time touchdown leader. The NFL draft kicks off on Thursday in New York. We'll see where he ends up. Brian, back to you.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. You heard Mr. Sanford say those options. So why don't you play NFL GM right now? Who do you think will draft Marcus Lattimore? Give us your pick by logging on to the Watch Fox Facebook page and enter your response. If you get the right answer, you just might win $100 in free gas, courtesy of United Auto Sales. When we come back, a final look at Lattimore's legacy, the records he leaves behind, and a whole lot more. Plus, a quick rundown of where some of his former teammates and some of his former opponents could wind up. That's when the Watch Fox Draft Special comes right back. Welcome back to the Watch Fox Draft Special, brought to you by our friends at United Auto Sales. Now, by this time tomorrow, the first round of the draft will be in the book, and according to the experts, Marcus Lattimore will not have heard his name called by then. But despite his injury, Mark is still projected as a mid-round draft pick, maybe the 3rd round. Here's what he leaves behind, though. 2,677 rushing yards at USC, 41 total touchdowns. That's the most ever by a Gamecock in a career. And remember this, he did all that in essentially 2 seasons. Lattimore playing in just 30 games because of all the injuries he racked up in his 3 years in Columbia. Lattimore not the only Gamecock on the board, though. Return specialist Ace Sanders, taking his chances by entering the draft, surprised a lot of folks when he gave up his senior year a couple months ago to throw his name into the draft hat. He had an electrifying junior season, but Sanders projected right now as a mid-round pick. And how about defensive back DJ Swearinger? Just might be South Carolina's best bet to go in the 1st round. Swearinger projected as a first round pick in the most recent mock drafts over the last couple of weeks. He's steadily been rising the boards in the last 3 weeks or so. And we can't forget the rivals at Clemson. Former Tiger receiver DeAndre Hopkins, also considered a possible 1st rounder. Analysts say he has the best hands in the entire draft class. The man they call Nuke, also giving up his senior year after a record-setting 2012, set several Clemson records, several ACC records. However, some suggest a recent report that says Hopkins had a role in a trashed hotel room at the NFL Combine could cause him to drop a bit. Hopkins staunchly denying that involvement, though, and the uproar over that has died down, though, considerably over the last week or so. But for right now, it is simply speculation, and the inexact science known as the NFL Draft probably going to start making fools of all of us sometime tomorrow and Friday and into Saturday. That's going to do it for the Watch Fox Draft Special, brought to you by our friends at United Auto Sales. And don't forget, play GM. Go to the Watch Fox Facebook page. Tell us where you think Marcus Lattimore will be drafted. All you have to do is log on, enter your answer, and you just might win $100 in free gas. You can count on Watch Fox to give you the latest draft news on air and online once the draft kicks off from New York City. Radio City Music Hall coming up Thursday night. Hope your teams get everything that they need this draft season. Good night.